Trevor, thanks for joining us at this year's 2013 CCA meeting. Procera's name has come up a couple times in this show.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you do, the history of the company, and then maybe you can show us what we're looking at on your screen.
Yeah, sure thing, Jeff. So Procera's been around since 2001, and with regard to wireless providers, we provide a critical role in terms of ensuring the quality of experience for users by optimizing traffic delivery. And then also, too, we're helping providers identify and roll out new revenue-generating resource our pricing schemes, such as tiered services, as well as metered billing as well. So we're actively involved with multiple mobile providers and helping them really increase the revenue associated with their networks.
And a minute ago you talked about how some enterprise customers, particularly universities and K through 12 are using your service. Can you talk a little bit about how traffic management applies in those markets?
Yeah, so as we talked about a little bit earlier today, so the average student comes to campus with as many as 4 different IP-enabled devices. So they're downloading Netflix movies, streaming music, playing World of Warcraft with their friends across the globe. So we help the schools optimize that traffic and make sure that the recreational activities don't overwhelm the academic activities on that network. So we have about 250 education customers that are using us. And some of them are even doing things like tiered services, like offering a turbo service, which University of Miami does with us. So we're doing a lot of interesting use cases.
Where students actually pay for the turbo service?
Yeah, so interesting enough. So the students came to the network director and said, we want to be able to stream videos, we want to be able to play World of Warcraft with our friends. So he said, well, we don't have the revenue or the funds to buy those bigger pipes. Would you be willing to pay for it? And they said we would. So using the Procera platform, we were able to create a turbo service. And so students pay an extra $100 per semester to get a higher rate of bandwidth. And so the network director wasn't quite sure what kind of response he would get on this. And within 3 weeks, over 400 students signed up, which created $40,000 of funds for the university to buy more bandwidth to provide that service for their students.
Interesting. So what are we looking at here on this screen?
Yeah, so this is just a very classic view for us. So this is what we call Live View. Live View provides the network administrators and managers with an instantaneous view of what's going on in the network. This is an aggregate level. So what we can see here, if you can see this on the screen, is this is all the different application types that are on the network. To no surprise, we can see that Netflix is our top user. And right on this particular network, at any given time, they're doing between 2 to 3.5 gigs of Netflix traffic. And then you can see the other classic BitTorrent, YouTube, and a whole range of other type of peer-to-peer and other type of streaming applications, which are our top data consumers on the network.
So Procera is a public company. Can you tell us a little bit about in what markets you operate, how many employees you have, and where some of your centers of excellence exist?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have over 1,000 customers, typically in the service provider markets, with our subverticals being a broad range between mobile, wireline, cable, and fixed wireless customers. So we have a very strong presence there. We're growing rapidly in those markets. We also have a very strong presence in the education market, where we have over 250 collegiate universities that are using Procera, as well as the K through 12 space, where they're starting to roll out tablets, which are creating a huge demand for data on those networks. Most recently, we announced that Miami-Dade Public Schools made a purchase of Procera to roll out, in preparation for a rollout of 70,000 tablets to their students.
And you're Fremont, California based, but you have other centers around the world?
Yeah, we're a very global company. So we are headquartered in Fremont. However, we have 2 R&D centers in Sweden, as well as 1 in British Columbia, Canada. And we have global offices, including in Singapore, in Japan, in the East Coast in Atlanta, the U.S., as well as in London as well.
And so, final question, tell us about your go-to-market strategy. Do you sell direct, you sell through channels?
Yeah, so here in North America, we're primarily a channel company, although we do work directly with some of the tier 1 providers. And then we have the same setup in most of our theaters globally.
What types of channel partners?
Yeah, so we have some interesting partnerships. So we work with traditional kind of value-added resellers, but more recently we've announced partnerships with service providers like Globecom, for example, who's offering Procera as part of their LTE as a service package. So we're very excited about announcing some of those partnerships and providing another way for tier 3 providers who don't necessarily have the expertise and the capital expense capability to purchase all this equipment to roll out LTE using Procera as a policy control enforcement function as part of that solution.
Trevor, thanks for your time.
Jeff, thank you. Appreciate it. Good to meet you.